Hey everyone, it's almost the end of 2022 and in this roundup video I will tell you my favorite products of all the products that I featured this year. And just to start things off, let me tell you where all these products come from. Most of them are actually sponsored products. I do get to keep some, but the more expensive ones usually I have to return, such as laptops. I do spend my own money to buy some products occasionally, but I don't buy all the products that I feature on my YouTube channel because I don't make enough money from YouTube to buy all these products. Right, so you may be thinking, since I receive free products, does it mean that my reviews are biased? Well, for my reviews, I usually just present to you my findings. I will present all the pros and cons that I can find so that you can decide whether or not the product is worth the money. I don't want a situation where you watch my review, go and buy the product, only to come back to the comment section and say that the product did not perform up to your expectations or the product did not perform like what you have seen in the review. Putting out an unbiased review for me is very important because if the review is biased, it only helps the company and the employees, but it harms all the customers who bought the product, and I don't want that situation to happen. So that's how I review products. And here I have a list of my favorite products, which I will go through. So let's start with laptops. This year, if you have noticed, I reviewed many laptops from ASUS. Thank you, ASUS Singapore, for providing all those laptops. And my favorite laptops would be the ASUS ZenBook Pro Duo 14 and the ASUS ZenBook Pro 16X OLED. So if you are looking for a workstation laptop where you can get the best or the most productivity, I would recommend you get the ZenBook Pro Duo. Although the display is just 14 inches, it actually has two displays. And for the ZenBook Pro Duo 14 this year, the pricing is extremely competitive. It is so much better compared to last year's 15-inch model. So that would be the laptop that I recommend if you want something that is like right up there. And I love the ZenBook Pro 16X OLED as well because, wow, the display looks really nice and the sound quality is just amazing. That laptop is, I would say, the best laptop. Anyway, I don't review many laptops from many brands, so my experience is limited. But based on what I've experienced with these two laptops, they are really good. The laptop with the dual display, it's really worth the money if you are into this sort of things. Now, if you want something that is lighter, a laptop that is lighter, I would recommend you get the LG Gram 2022. They have sizes from 14 to 17. 16, I would say, is the perfect size. If I remember correctly, it's about 1.2 kg and the display is massive. But LG Gram laptops are quite pricey, and they are pricey for a reason because they are very lightweight. And if you want to save some money and you don't game on your laptop, maybe consider the Huawei MateBook D16. That laptop is heavier. I think it's 1.7 kg. The specs are actually better than the LG Gram because that's a more powerful laptop. It's just that the weight is heavier. The pricing for that laptop, the Huawei MateBook D16, it's really good. I saw it a few days ago at 1,000 Singapore dollars, and that is a terrific price. That, I would say, is the best value laptop this year. If you want gaming, well, there are so many gaming laptops out there, ASUS, Lenovo, MSI, but I don't really review gaming laptops, so I can't say much about gaming. But if you want to use laptops for graphic design work, all the laptops that I've mentioned so far, they have good displays with colors that are great for visual content creation. All right, next up, let's talk about pen displays. In case you don't know, pen displays are actually monitors that you can draw on, and since they are monitors, you have to connect them to a computer in order to use it. So I have, let's see, three favorites. This year, XP Pen released several pen displays under the Artist second generation series, and those pen displays are good. They have good colors, good design, USB-C to USB-C support, and the cables look more durable compared to the previous generation. And the next favorite, actually I have a lot of favorites. Okay, the next favorite from me is the Huion Canvas Pro 16 2.5K. This canvas, the Huion Canvas Pro 16 2.5K is a good size. 16 inch is a good size. 16 inch is larger than A4, so you get a good amount of space to work with, and the resolution is 2.5K, more specifically 2560 by 1440. So all the visuals are sharp. It has good colors as well, and USB-C to USB-C support. The only downside for this Huion pen display is 16 inch and the resolution 1440p does not work well with Mac OS. So if you're using Mac OS, avoid any pen displays that are 16 inches and 1440p. Yeah, but otherwise that is a pretty good pen display in terms of colors and drawing performance. The third pen display I want to recommend is the Gaomon PD1610, which again is a 16-inch pen display, and the resolution is 2560 by 1600. So this pen display uses an aspect ratio that is 16 by 10, and this aspect ratio will give you 11% more surface area to work with compared to a display which is 16 by 9. The Huion Canvas Pro 16 uses 16 by 9. So personally, I prefer 16 by 10 any day over 16 by 9. So that's the Gaomon pen display is a pretty good one because it has good colors and good drawing performance, and it's 16 by 10. The downside for Mac users, 16 inches and 2.5K resolution is not a good combination. It's not a good combo for Mac users. That's all. And yeah, I'll put the links to all these products that are featured in this video in the comment section, in the video description below, so that you can check out the full detailed reviews on my YouTube channel as well as on my blog. Alright, for pen tablets, by pen tablets I mean those tablets that do not have any screens, I would say the XP Pen Deco. I think they released the M size this year, if I remember correctly. That model is good. And there is the Huion Dial and the Huion Jano, which is the gigantic pen tablet. The Huion Dial 2 is the one with 2 dials. So these are the more professional looking pen tablets. But the thing with pen tablets is the drawing technology has actually, in my opinion, matured many years ago. So even if you buy very affordable pen tablets nowadays, those that are like $50 US to $100 US, those pen tablets, those affordable entry-level pen tablets will have very good drawing performance as well. Any of the pen tablets from Wacom, XP Pen and Huion would be good. And speaking of Wacom, I don't review many of their products, if you notice. Yeah, that's because Wacom doesn't contact me to provide review units, and I do not contact companies to ask for review units because I don't have the time to contact them. So usually all the products that are featured, that are sponsored, are because the companies reach out to me to contact me. For tablets, like iPads and Samsung tablets, the most exciting tablet is probably this one here, the Samsung Galaxy Tab S8 Ultra, which has a 14.6 inch display. This thing is huge. This is like a laptop without the keyboard. The main downside for this tablet is actually it's not easy to handle because it's quite thin, and I've dropped it twice in the first month that I bought this due to how thin it is and how slippery it is. So just be careful when you're handling this. And this is great for drawing because it has the Samsung S Pen is included with this tablet. The main downside when it comes to using Android for digital artists is there is a lack of professional graphic design apps. And by professional graphic design apps, I'm referring to apps that can handle layout, that has typography control, and can create vector illustrations. So that's lacking with Android. But if you are looking for a tablet just mostly for drawing, this one is a good one to consider, and the price has dropped quite significantly since this was released earlier this year. Yeah, so if you can find this at a good price, it's a good one. This, I would say, is not that portable. I mean, it's thin, but due to the size, it's not as portable compared to the smaller 12.4-inch Tab S8 Plus. Yeah. Okay, and this year Apple has released the M2 iPad Pro. That is an amazing tablet. It's pricey, but it's an amazing tablet. And this year they have added Apple has added the hover feature, which is going to benefit painters, artists who use paintbrushes, where you can see the size of the brush. You can also see the texture of the brush pattern before you put down the stroke, before you lay down the stroke. Because with the previous iPads, there is no cursor, there's no hover mode, so you can't see how much space that brush stroke is going to take on your canvas before you paint, and you can't see the texture of the brush. So if you are a painter, digital painter, this year the iPad Pro, the M2 iPad Pro is pretty good. If you are using an earlier iPad and you don't feel like the feature is worth it, it's not worth it. It's not worth the upgrade, all right? The M2 iPad Pro is amazing on its own, but if you compare it with the earlier iPad Pros, unless you need the hover feature, if not, it's not worth the upgrade. I have also reviewed the iPad Air Mini and the iPad 10. For most of the iPad reviews that I make, I usually just recommend you get the earlier model or the refurbished models, because most of the drawing performance for most of the iPads that I review is pretty much similar, so it doesn't really make sense to spend the extra premium on the new released products when you can get the exact same drawing performance with an older iPad, and you can get to save some money and use the money to buy the Apple Pencil, which is not included in the price. So yeah, so this year I would say do check out the Tab S8 Ultra and the M2 iPad Pro. I did not buy the Surface Pro 9 because I have the Surface Pro 8. And speaking of the Surface Pro 8, I just sent it in for servicing because the screen flickers. So screen flickering is something that Surface Pro tablets are quite prone to. So I sent it in for servicing and now it's back. And the difference between Surface Pro 8 and Surface Pro 9 isn't that significant. It's just that the newer model uses the 12th gen Intel processor, so it's going to be more powerful. But battery life, I would say, is still about the same, so there's really no advantage upgrading unless you are using a Surface Pro from many years ago. Okay, so I'm not like terribly impressed by the Surface Pro, but for their Surface laptop, I think it's alright. Yeah, the Surface laptop is alright. Let's talk about iPad stands or tablet stands. I reviewed and featured so many tablet stands this year, the magnetic tablet stands. In fact, let me just show you this one here. This one is by Icemate and sold by Lulu, a company that sells a lot of accessories for iPads, and they have stands made for Samsung tablets as well. The thing with all these magnetic stands is most of them are very well built because they are full metal, so you can just choose based on the design that you like. There is not one that is significantly better than the others, so you can just choose based on your design. I personally would go with a stand that is not foldable because I don't plan on bringing the stand around, and I always have the stand on my table, so I don't need something that is foldable. Having a tablet stand is extremely convenient because this allows you to prop up the tablet and you can adjust the angle, and you can place a keyboard in front of your tablet and use it like a mini computer. So I highly recommend you get a magnetic tablet stand if you can, but these stands are usually just made for iPads. There are a few made for Samsung tablets, so it's just these two brands. If you are using a tablet from Xiaomi, Lenovo, Huawei, you're out of luck because usually you can't find magnetic stands for them. Unless you find those stands where there is a little holder where you can just put the tablet on top. But those are not as nice as tablet stands like this. The most interesting product that I reviewed this year is the Clumsy K1 keyboard with the built-in display. As mentioned earlier, it's very difficult to beat dual display productivity with just one display. So that keyboard is good. But the downside for that keyboard is the display can't prop up further. So you have to sit like really with your back really straight to look down at the display. So that is one thing that can be improved with that keyboard. We are almost at the end of this video. The last thing I want to mention would be software. Serif, the company that makes the Affinity series of software such as Affinity Photo, Affinity Designer, and Affinity Publisher. Is it called Publisher? Anyway, they make software for graphic design, vector illustration, layout, and page design. They are having a sale for their Affinity software. I believe it's US $100 for this 3 software, which you can use on Windows, Mac OS, and iPad. It's a one-time purchase. It's really worth the money. If you are into graphic design, digital illustration, go get this software because it's really worth the money compared to the Adobe Creative Suite software. And this year, I discovered this vector illustration app called Amadin, which is available on iPad and on the Mac OS. Amadin is basically like Adobe Illustrator, but it doesn't have as many tools. But it can be used for layout as well because it has some type and typography features, and can be used for text layout. There are some pretty good tools for alignment, pathfinder. It's just a very good app for a very good price, so that's an app that I would recommend. All the products that I have mentioned in this video are ones that I feel are worth mentioning. And before you go, I need your help on something. If you happen to have the intention of buying any products that I have featured on my YouTube channel, consider making your purchase through the affiliate links that I have for you in the video description below, because I get to earn some money through each sale. And if you're wondering if my reviews are biased because I want to make money through the affiliate sales, well, my answer and response is the same that I've given you at the start of this video. For each dollar that I make, that's an equivalent of you watching my videos 1,000 times. So you can imagine how much help you are giving to me when you actually support my YouTube channel that way. I do not earn money from companies. I do not get paid to make those reviews, so I'm not paid by companies to make those reviews. And I do not like to make a sponsored ads that promote VPN services, web hosting, or video tutorial courses. I just don't like those ads. So the way I make my money on this YouTube channel is just through affiliate sales and through YouTube advertising. Alright, I hope this video is useful. Thanks for watching and thanks for your support. See you guys next year. Bye.